Good Wednesday evening, August 20th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Manson sex offender accused of violating federal law by contacting possible juvenile victims has been arraigned in U.S. District Court. A new chief is in charge of the fire department that protects the city of Soap Lake and its surroundings. Expect another seasonally mild day tomorrow before our next heat wave sets in on Friday. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. A 3-year-old rescue from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is the new narcotics-detecting dog for the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. Canine Cato and his partner, Corrections Deputy Skylar Silby, graduated from the Washington Department of Corrections Canine program today. Cato is the third dog to hold the job, but the first German Shepherd, and he follows Border Collies Canine Kate and Canine Gambit. He is trained to detect 6 odors, including fentanyl, cocaine, and methamphetamine. Cato, who is headed home to meet his new family after graduation, starts work at the Chelan County Jail on Monday. The Level 1 evacuation notice on Holden Village was lifted on Tuesday after being in place since early July due to the Pomas Fire. The 3,500-acre wildfire has been burning 36 miles northwest of Entiat since June. Over the weekend, work along the Chihuahua River Valley shifted as the removal of heavy fuel finished, and firefighters will now focus on chipping the remaining lighter fuels like brush and vegetation. Crews will be engaged in suppression repair over coming weeks, which includes work like clearing ditches of debris and repairing trails that act as secondary control lines. Northern Rockies Team 8 turned over management of the Pomas Fire to the local unit yesterday. Authorities expect the fire to continue burning within its perimeter until it's extinguished by winter weather. The Manson sex offender accused of violating federal law by contacting possible juvenile victims has been arraigned in U.S. District Court. Bernardino Dwight Hamilton, who's 30 years old, was brought before a federal judge in Spokane on Monday, where he pleaded not guilty to 6 charges of enticement of a minor, plus 1 count of reoffending while registered as a sex offender. Hamilton has been jailed in Chelan County since January 2023, when sheriff's deputies arrested him on suspicion of attempting to lure teenage girls through Snapchat. Federal prosecutors say those alleged acts amounted to federal crimes, and a grand jury indicted him on August 6th. Last Thursday, U.S. Marshals transferred Hamilton from custody in Chelan County to the Spokane County Jail. He's currently set for trial on local charges in September. No trial date in the federal case has been scheduled. Manson School District Superintendent Tabitha Myers was named the 2026-27 President-elect by the Washington Association of School Administrators yesterday. The association, known as WASA, includes 1,600 members of professional administrators committed to leadership. Myers has been an active member of WASA since 2018 and has served in several roles, including region president, as chair of the Small School Committee, and as state representative for the National Advocacy Network. She first began work as a teacher in the Waterville School District in 1995, and then in 2021 became principal and superintendent in the Palisades School District before heading to Manson in 2023. Myers will assume the presidency in July of 2026. When we come back, police in Mattawa and Moses Lake are seeking public assistance in solving a homicide in a public park. And Chelan County Fire District 5, which serves the Manson community, is inviting applicants to send letters of interest to fill 2 new fire commissioner positions. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
Click It RV is the home of the lowest price guarantee on new and used RVs. Our summer sell-down sales event is happening now. Shop new and used RVs from all the major manufacturers. Up to $6,000 over NADA for your trade through August. 0 down and no payments for 6 months. And get a free Traeger grill with every purchase. Plus, it's your last chance to win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash drawn at the end of August.
Be a winner like me and get to Click It RV.
Don't miss Click It RV's summer sale-down sales event now through August.
Police in Mattawa and Moses Lake are seeking public assistance in solving a homicide in a public park. It began with gunshots about 8 p.m. in Hunt Memorial Park in Mattawa. A 19-year-old male victim, so far unidentified, was wounded in the incident and later died in hospital care. No one has yet been arrested. Moses Lake police are assisting Mattawa's department in the investigation. They ask anyone who witnessed the incident, has video recordings, or has information related to the shooting to contact investigators at 509-762-1160. A new chief is in charge of the fire department that protects the city of Soap Lake and its surroundings. Eric Britton was sworn in last week as chief of Grant County Fire District 7, which serves both the city and 159 square miles around it. About 4,500 people live within the district. Britton was the fire chief for the town of Anaconda, Montana, until resigning in spring of 2024. He replaces Fire Chief Chris Baker, who led the department from February 2023 until his resignation last spring. Chelan County Fire District 5, which serves the Manson community, is inviting applicants to send letters of interest to fill 2 new fire commissioner positions. Earlier this month, voters overwhelmingly approved expanding the District 5 Board of Commissioners from 3 members to 5. The measure won 75% of the vote during the August primary election. Letters with contact information need to be submitted by August 29th to the office at 250 Manson Boulevard and explain why the applicants are interested in the position. The current fire commissioners will review and score the top 5 candidates who will be invited for an interview at the next Board of Commissioners meeting coming up on September 10th. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, Governor Bob Ferguson's response to U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi's threat to withhold federal money if the state doesn't comply with the Trump administration's immigration policy. Our weather pattern will really warm up beginning Friday, with temperatures expected to soar near 100 degrees this weekend. I'll have all your local weather details coming up, as well as Eric Granstrom with tonight's sports report as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Some people say pineapple doesn't belong on pizza. Well, those people have obviously never tried Abby's Big Hawaiian, featuring loads of Canadian bacon and Dole pineapple. Right now at Abby's.com, order this juicy, cheesy, and legendary pizza at a mouth-watering price. Celebrate the summer of good with an Abby's Big Hawaiian.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no-cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
The Trump administration, through Attorney General Pam Bondi, threatened this week to withhold federal money and even prosecute state officials if they don't comply with the president's immigration policies. A 6-year-old state law called Keep Washington Working puts limits on how and when local police agencies can cooperate with federal immigration officers. Among other things, police in Washington can't detain a suspect based on immigration status alone. In tonight's feature story, Governor Bob Ferguson spoke up about the threatening letter from Bondi on Tuesday, joined by one of the key sponsors of that state law.
Let me be very clear. Washington State will not be bullied or intimidated by threats and legally baseless accusations. In the America that I love and have taught my children to revere, we resolve our differences peacefully through public discourse and, if necessary, through the courts, not by threatening political opponents with imprisonment. Pam Bondi takes a very different approach. Her letter threatens me, police officers, state troopers, sheriffs, judges, and other officials with prison time. Why? Because our state legislature passed a bipartisan law that appropriately and lawfully limits the diversion of state and local resources to federal immigration enforcement. By threatening criminal prosecutions of state officials, this letter embarrasses and disgraces the office of the United States Attorney General. Washington State is proud to be a welcoming community that values immigrants and refugees' contributions to our economy and our cultural fabric. We do so while accounting for and complying with applicable federal law. If Pam Bondi really believed Washington State is in conflict with controlling federal law, she would make some effort to explain that. She did not because she cannot. In 2017, I was the first state attorney general to challenge President Donald Trump's efforts to trample our Constitution in court, and I was the first attorney general to defeat him. Along with the excellent team in the Office of the Attorney General, we went on to defeat the first Trump administration 55 times in court. We were unsuccessful in just 3 cases. Given that history, I can assure you I am prepared to defend Washington from any litigation the Trump administration wishes to pursue. If they choose to challenge me and my state, we will defeat them and seek all appropriate costs and fees. Pam Bondi seems to believe that cavalierly citing criminal statutes and personally threatening me, a democratically elected governor, will result in compromising the values of my state. That is not going to happen.
We are on lists of do not travel, many places around the world. And that is not good for our economy. That is another blow that we would have for our economy. So that's what this bill is about, is to making sure that if people are doing bad things, it is the responsibility of the federal government, who now just got how many billions of dollars more to do their job. Do your damn job and leave us the hell alone.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast, and I hope you had a great midweek Wednesday. Boy, nice and mild out there. I guess you can call mid-80s mild, but it was a nice one out there. And what a beautiful shot outside our weather window this afternoon, looking down at, of course, Lake Chelan. You can also see Manson in the picture, as well as Chelan, and lots of activity boat-wise on a Wednesday. Everybody kind of getting in the last bits of summer, even though we still have one full month of summer to go before we change to fall coming up on September 20th. But we are in for some very warm weather as we get to the end of the week. Tomorrow, 88, 92 as we end our week on Friday. And then we really get warm. 97 Saturday, 98 Sunday, and we will stay in the mid to upper 90s into the first part of next week. So summer not over yet. All right, today's high temperature unofficially exactly where we should be for this time of year. 86 degrees, that's our normal. 102, our record high, and that was set back in 1977. This morning, nice and mild, 66. 60 is where we should be for a low, and our record low set in 1968 of 46 degrees. Sunrise this morning, 6:04, and it sets tonight at 8:03. Taking a look at Thursday's temperatures, this is where we begin to get at least back to normal and a little bit above normal. Lots of 88s on our map tomorrow. From Wenatchee east into Moses Lake, all 88s, including up Highway 97 into Omak, Eniat, Chelan, Omak, all 88 degrees tomorrow. 86 in Leavenworth and 87 the high temperature tomorrow in Kashmir. All right, tonight we can expect clear skies. Once again, it's this area of low pressure that's actually a little bit farther north. It's providing all of the warmth that's coming up our way. Clear skies tonight. Low temperatures right around 60 degrees. As we get you into Thursday, sunny and warmer. Boy, we're going to see clear skies throughout the state tomorrow with high temperatures into those upper 80s. And keep in mind, about 86 is normal for this time of year. For Friday, sunny, and I think this is where officially our heat wave begins. We will jump up with high temperatures into the afternoon, and you can see that ridge into the low 90s for almost all of central and eastern Washington. And our temperatures, folks, they're going up from there. Nothing but clear skies from Montana to Washington and all of the West Coast. We will see sunshine and temperatures in the upper 90s as we kick off our weekend on Saturday. And we're not done there. Sunday, almost a carbon copy, sunny and hot. Boy, notice the deep, deep red over the eastern Washington. Same color, ironically, as Phoenix. And we're going to be almost that hot with highs near 100. And then as we kick off our next work week, not much of a change. Still that ridge of high pressure up and over the Pacific Northwest. Maybe a few high clouds on Monday, but it's going to be a hot one once again with highs in the upper 90s. And even at the end of our forecast on Tuesday, not much of a change. Sunny and still hot, nothing but clear skies. And look at those high temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. All right, 7-day forecast, 60 overnight tonight. A nice one tomorrow if you like 88 degrees. You see a lot of sunshine for Thursday. And this is where the warm-up begins on Friday. Sunny and 92. And look at those weekend temperatures. Sunshine, 97 Saturday, 98 on Sunday, 97 again on Monday. And we're going to stay that way on Tuesday. Sunny and still hot with a high temperature then of 96 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Handoff to Zielinski around the right side. Got away from one man, got away from two. Squirts between
High school sports is back this fall on the NCWLIFE channel. Watch Eastmont, Wenatchee, and Kashmir games right here. Coverage is brought to you in part by our platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Global Car Care, and Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Watch high school sports on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
And a happy Wednesday to you. Try as they might, the Mariners just can't quite figure out a way to beat Philadelphia. After scoring 3 runs in the 7th inning to tie the game at 4, the Phillies came right back with a 2-run home run in the 8th off Matt Brash and won at 6-4, handing Seattle their 4th straight loss.
Saws him off. A weak ground ball. Dylan Moore races home. Julio retired. The Mariners grab a run. Wasn't much left of that bat by the handle. Randy into third. Cal into second. This is fair and past the dive of Bohm. A Rosarena in. Here comes Cal Raleigh. He scores. This game is now tied in the 7th. Eugenio Suarez coming through for the Mariners.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there's ever a time for Gino Suarez to start heating up in the Mariners uniform, it is now. Look at this. It's his second extra base hit of the night, this time pulling that ball into left field. All of a sudden, this game is tied.
Fair ball, backed up. Polanco with Spire covering.
Wow.
And there is out number 3. Well, heads up Polanco, heads up Spire. And it's a 1-2-3 inning with a little bit of a surprise ending to the whole thing.
Third most extra base hits. JT smokes one to deep left field. And the Phillies are back on top. A 2-run home run for Real Muto. It's his 9th of the year. It's a 6-4 game. And that is only the 2nd home run that Brash has allowed in 32 and a third innings. Duran to Raleigh. Swing and a miss. He got him. One fastball after another. And Duran closes this one out as he gets the major league leader in home runs to go down on strikes. And the Phillies win it 6-4.
Mariners have the day off tomorrow before heading to home to take on the Athletics Friday. That'll be at 7:10 on Root Sports Northwest. Houston lost in a pitcher's duel in 10 innings at Detroit 1-0. After the starters combined for 16 strikeouts, it was a bases-loaded walk that gave the Tigers a literal walk-off win. Kansas City topped Texas 5-2. The Athletics got by Minnesota 6-3. Cincinnati beat the Angels 6-4. The Seahawks left for Wisconsin today to practice against the Packers tomorrow prior to their preseason game on Saturday. Linebacker Ernest Jones IV says starters get a better look in these types of practices rather than in preseason games.
Yeah, I think it's just more so focused on, like ones are getting really meaningful reps. I think, you get into preseason games and, a lot of times, you won't get enough reps of plays coming your way. I think in those joint practices, you get a good look, a lot of things that are going to come your way, but just get another feel for another team, how they operate. So it's good. Just, go scheme for scheme and see what's better.
Veteran wide receiver Cooper Kupp says he's not a fan of participating in preseason games, but will get what he can out of practicing against the Packers.
Yeah, I think it's just an opportunity to see, different techniques, different coverages. Obviously, the competitiveness it's just different. It's just different. I don't want to say it's more or less than what you're doing each and every day. I mean, we come out here every day with a
very competitive mindset with how we handle our business, and but it's just a different different body across the line of scrimmage from you, and it's good to have those opportunities and just see some different things, try your stuff out against some different looks, and yeah, it will be a good competitive day.
Seattle's new offense broke through with 33 points and nearly 500 yards last week against Kansas City. Jones says it's been fun to see the progress made under Clint Kubiak's new scheme.
I think encouraging would follow the lines that we didn't believe it. I've kind of said this once before. I've seen them from the first day they got in here, started going over that playbook. It was rocky those first couple weeks of OTAs where we go offense, defense, but from that first day to the first day of training camp was a big difference. I knew they had it in them to get up there, attack the ball, and just run off the ball. Let's run the rock. Let's create explosives after that. And I knew they had it in them. Honestly, it wasn't a surprise at all. I think the movement. I think specifically here, how they get up to the line, like they're super decisive. From the moment the huddle's broken, receivers, O-line, running backs, they're breaking out. Sam's walking up, getting his reads, and after a motion or two, the ball snaps. So I think they do a good job getting set, and then when it's time to roll, they roll.
Seattle has two rookies who will start on offense in Gray Zabel and Robbie Oots, while other draft picks, Nick Eamon-Warry, Torrey Horton, and Jalen Milroe, making their own mark. Jones says this class is very different from when he was drafted.
I've said this once before. I always feel like my class of rookies were like some of the, I don't want to say dumb, but wasn't that smart. And I see the classes after, and just speaking on this one, these guys are super smart. Coming in, picking up the playbook the way they are, coming in, just attacking each and every day. They're different than my class, I'll say that. 4 or 5 years ago, we were a lot, hard-headed. So these guys are good.
Seattle and Green Bay play their final preseason game Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. That'll be on King 5 TV. Continuing our look at prep football to come, the Kashmir Bulldogs enter their second season in the South Central Athletic Conference this year after a 10-2 campaign last season, with those 2 losses coming against Royal, the final of which in the state semifinals. Brian Bremer looks to reload this season. Kashmir starts the season home against Wapato September 5th. They'll visit Kiona Benton the 12th and host College Place in Wahluke to wrap up September. They'll kick off October at Royal the 3rd and return home for homecoming the 10th against Zilla, a game that'll be broadcast on the NCWLIFE channel. The Bulldogs travel to Connell and Chelan before finishing against Wenatchee Valley on Halloween. Up Highway 2 in Leavenworth, Cascade remains just one of 3 teams remaining in the Caribou Trail League after a 4-4 season a year ago. Coach Carl Haberberger enters his 4th season looking for better. Kodiak's open at Liberty Bell September 5th and travel to Coupeville and Wenatchee Valley and Manson before their first home game in Peshastin against Tonasket October 3rd. That starts a string of 3 games at home in a row, with Brewster and Medical Lake coming to town before heading for Omak October 24th. Regular season concludes October 30th at home against Chelan. By the way, if you want to see all of our local sports football teams' schedules, head to our website at ncwlife.com. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Have a happy Wednesday.
And that will do it for this edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app. And now you can watch all of NCWLIFE's 24/7 programming without cable. Our channel is available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the NCWLIFE app to your devices and share the news with friends and family. You can email us with news tips anytime at news@ncwlife.com, or you can give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCWLIFE would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.